We talked about the ego. We talked about how your upbringing and past can affect you and the effects of sports performance anxiety. And now we're going to bring it all together and talk about how to use these things, this knowledge, to your benefit. We have this shield that we built up. I talked about in the first episode. This ego shield we built up, and it's here to protect us, but it's also here to use as a weapon. Think Captain America here to beat somebody face in with it. And you have to be very, very aware of all these things in your mental psyche. Understand where you reside in the spectrum of things. We talked about how much our ego can make our embarrassing moments compound and make you feel worse. Understand that. Understand when those things happen. Okay, remember, you're not perfect. You're not some superstar that can't make mistakes. Always remember the things you have to be aware of specifically for yourself and your own mental psyche. Now, when it comes down to your upbringing, when you run into coaches that, don't, like how you're playing, or teammates that don't like how you're playing, and understand, like, I've had coaches and teammates before that necessarily I didn't like or didn't like me, and they're not here now. And these coaches or teammates that are here that don't like me or I think don't like me, they won't be here in the future. But who will be here is yourself. So pleasing them does not matter. The best thing you can do is to not give up. Honestly, I really, really live by that, stand by that. You cannot care. You can't please everybody. The only person you want to please is yourself. And if you're spiritual, the man above. Something that I try to do and try to lean in more is developing alternate personalities. I know that sounds kind of weird, but in certain moments in the game or certain moments in the season, like, I try to tap into that side of myself that really, really doesn't give up. And is just fearless and goes out and dominates, don't care about anything or anybody, but just going out and going hard as possible and just playing free. And that's like my alter personality I try to tap into. It's not who I am normally in my day-to-day life. It's just not my personality. But as an athlete, I sort of have to have different sides of myself. When it's time to go to war, when it's time to battle it out, get on that court, bang, get a bucket, stop somebody getting a bucket, you can't be thinking like just this average Joe out here. You have to be thinking different. You have to tap into something different, a different energy, a different mindset. That's why Kobe created the Mamba mentality. He was going through some tough things in his personal life, and those things were real, but he couldn't allow that to be his personality on the court. He had to tap into a different side of himself, the killer, the assassin, the Mamba. And that dude was just a go-getter focused on buckets, defending, winning, just taking his opponent's head off. It's a balance you have to have as well, because that personality can be someone that feels so highly of themselves that they allow that ego that we talked about to hinder them. It has to be someone that is only focused on the process, going as hard as possible. And once that game is over, it can go away. You go back to being your normal self. But in the moment of truth, you got to tap into a different energy. Or at least I feel like you should experiment with tapping into different energies when it's time to play. I first started developing this like alternate personality, which I have called a couple of different things. I called going into Vaughn mode, which is like, my name is Trayvon, and most people call me Trey. In Europe, they call me T, but no one ever called me Vaughn. That's the end of my name. So like there was sort of like this other alternate personality I developed when I was playing my rookie season. I wasn't healthy, and I was feeling like my career might be over, and I just like, man, I'm gonna go out my way. I'm gonna just not care and just have fun and go as hard as I can, just not think about anything and just go for it. And I had amazing playoffs by doing that. I try to tap into the energy as much as I can, but honestly, like, it's not always easy to tap into. It's like the hook. Like, sometimes the hook doesn't want to come out and you're just not in that mindset, that space. And I would just say that you will be able to tap into it when you really, really need it. Hopefully you can have a, lesser personality that you can tap into more often, But in terms of like that super killer, like I applaud Kobe for how he was able to really tap into that all the time, basically, or at least I think. But it could be hard to always tap into that. But just having that killer mindset in you to some extent is very crucial. The super killer though, that super killer, it's something I'm trying to work on bringing out more and more often. It's so many games, so many seasons. It's just like, to me, it can be hard to always just try to tap into that extreme mental focus and energy to really, really like fight like it's your last game ever. Because that's really how I thought about it when I developed that alternate, ego, alternate personality. I thought that it was over for me after this. I thought that anytime this could be my last time playing competitive basketball. So there's other, levels to the personality that I can tap into a lot easier. But still, the whole concept is to like have something that's not necessarily like your actual like personality and tap into that different energy when you're on the court or field of play. Because all in all, it's so freeing. It's so freeing when you're out there and you just feel like it's just you in basketball, you in football, whatever sport you play, just you in the sport. And you're just going for it and you're having fun and you're just dominating and feeling good and just in your element. And that freedom is really why you want to play the game. I feel like we all play the game for fun and freedom. It's something that you've been doing your whole life. Don't forget that. It's freeing. Be free out there. Have fun out there. You never know when it's going to be your last. I learned that very early in my professional career. You never know. You're always one step, one personnel decision away from this being your last. So have fun with it. That's all I got to say. Have fun with it. Hope you guys enjoyed this series. This was a very, 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 very personal thing to me. As you can see, I opened up about my mental state and things I've experienced, things that go through my mind, my vulnerabilities, and how it's okay to not be okay, as my friend Trey Moses would say. It's okay to not be okay. And I just want everyone out there that may be going through some mental times, especially beginning of the season, getting into some new teams, new places, new environments, new challenges. It can be tough, and you can question yourself, but if you tap into this series and you learn all these things about yourself, you start doing that reflecting, getting to really know yourself and try some of these methods out, read these books. Just give it a go and try to do your best to have fun with what you're doing. That's all that matters. But that's all I got for you. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, comment, and tune in for more, because I'm going to keep them rolling.